My name is Paul Sansom, and I'm a business consultant here at Vendavo. Our primary role as business consultants is to marry our company's technology with the needs and requirements of our customers. But one of the side jobs we like to perform is to provide customers with insights and guidance into what's happening in certain industries and markets and kind of act as experts. But today we're going to cover some of the commercial trends impacting chemical businesses and some ways to mitigate or take advantage of them. Chemicals form the foundation of our modern world by allowing us to make things bigger, better, safer, more efficient, and just allowing us to make things in general. The size and growth of the global chemical and agricultural chemicals market reflects this. But in recent years, the industry has begun to kind of face some unprecedented challenges in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and exits that period with a lot of uncertainties about how to sustain success in this new world. So while this is not a definitive list by any means, it is intended to give you a good view of how technology, changing behaviors, volatile economics, and shifting generations are changing the way our industry does business. So trend number one, deflationary pressure as a macro factor. So the word of the day is slowing, meaning that this recession, like the world's slowest moving catastrophe outside of, an army of rabid sloths, probably isn't here yet, but we should still prepare for a contracting economy. Energy, transportation, raw material, and input costs have started to fall or stabilize for almost every chemical company across the market, though some of that stability is dependent on very fragile geopolitical outlooks, to say the least. But does this mean chemical companies should lower prices? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what company you work for, and I'm not Warren Buffett or that guy from The Big Short. But deflationary periods can still reap long-term benefits by strategically, and that is the key word, strategically, meaning not haphazardly or done and done with a wee bit of forethought. By strategically lowering prices, companies can make market share land grabs by opening up new avenues for long-term growth and profitability. Though communication of those cost savings to your customers is very important because it might not be immediately apparent to them. Trend number two, advanced demand planning. So many moons ago in the before times, back when I was an analyst, I frequently said to my executive audience, I'm not always right, but I'm normally wrong for the right reasons. And I think few things better exemplify that than demand planning and sales forecasting. So what has previously been the domain of degenerate gamblers, ancient mystics, and followers of the dark arts, demand planning no longer requires the interpretation of tea leaves and animal entrails and has actually embraced technology of today. Chemical companies have begun to embrace advanced planning systems, or APS for short, to move past the problems presented by volatile markets in an even more volatile world. And APS is primarily characterized as sophisticated software solutions that leverage advanced algorithms, data analytics, and all of those other nice buzzwords to optimize planning and decision-making processes across the supply chain. So by leveraging this comprehensive information, APSs they enable organizations to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and even enhance customer service. But what is not always apparent is that better demand planning translates often to improved pricing strategies. When integrated with APS and other inventory management data, conditional pricing structures, such as the ones utilized by price management, and science-based pricing structures, such as the one used by price optimization systems, can enable your company to respond to internal and external inputs and threats and advantages immediately with automated and dynamic pricing. So trend number three, restructuring supply chains. COVID changed everything, or maybe not. I mean, how often did we hear that? I think I'm still triggered by whenever I hear COVID changed everything or the new normal. But While it didn't necessarily change everything, it did make a lot of companies wake up, and specifically chemical companies, wake up to the fact that their reliance on just-in-time supply chain management was wildly ineffective when those supply lines didn't really exist anymore. So for decades, chemical companies strove for the lowest cost, most tax efficient supply chains that allowed for minimal inventory and very few contingencies. So that central thesis was tested by the COVID pandemic, a tariff war between the US and China, an actual war in Europe, a ship running aground and clogging one of the world's most critical passageways, Kanye and Kim breaking up, and whatever else could have possibly happened. And needless to say, it failed that test. So as we climb out of the rubble of those messes, the focus has shifted from just in time to just in case. And these are more flexible and resilient supply chains with a heavy emphasis on localization. So China and other high-value exogenous regions are no longer seen as essential sources and stopping points for feedstocks and products. Now companies are determined to restructure their supply chains with more in-country regional and local producers and service providers. By utilizing technologies to provide predictive insights and advanced analytics and then integrating them with the existing enterprise solutions, companies are able to respond with our alternative sourcing methods faster than you can say the new normal. And anyway, those are my 3 big trends for today. I really want to thank you for joining us. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.